Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Random Crafty Acts. Did you buy an advent calendar for your crafting? These are a series of really quick videos. I'm going to do them so that you can watch them, hopefully with the idea that you can kind of get yourself organized so you can maximize this experience. I was introduced to advent calendars, crafting advent calendars last year by Alicia of Call Me Crafty Al. And I kept actually a little kind of like a diary as I went along. And there were a couple of things that turned into kind of an issue. She had a little contest that was going on. You had to keep track of words, and it was a lot of fun. And she came on every morning at 10 o'clock live. And I'm not the most organized person in the world, but I tried really hard to keep up. And, you know, I took advantage of this cute little binder that I had with these little pockets, and I cut out sheets, and I did all kinds of things to help me stay organized. And I made something every day, which was nice. And let's see and so I found pretty much immediately that there was a lot of stuff. All right. It's not like when you buy a die set and it's all in one piece. Okay. It's like lots of little things that all come together. So I just thought I would pass on a couple of hints on things that I did to that worked, and a couple of things that didn't necessarily work. Okay, first of all, you have to make a decision. If you've already bought yours, you have to make a decision if you're going to wait until December 1st and open them one day at a time, or if you're going to hit a moment where you just say, I can't stand it, I'm going to open it. All right? Okay, so, and when you do that with Spellbinders, now I'm not affiliated with Spellbinders. I just, you know, this is the one I bought this year. And I bought this one because it looks like it has a flower theme. Okay, last year the theme was kind of travel-ish almost. It was lots, I'm going to show you the little pieces I got last year. Okay, and so when you look on the back, or when you look at the ads that you'll find for these over on either Spellbinders or scrapbook.com. I don't know if scrapbook.com still has them, but you'll see there are embossing folders, and there are dies, and there are stamps, okay, and there's little numbers on everything, and you just poke your little finger in here and pull this back, and you'll get whatever is in there for you for that day. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside before I get tempted to open it. The first thing I would suggest is you don't have to have anything fancy like this. You can use a spiral notebook. Okay, you can use pieces of paper that you staple together, and keep track. Okay, if you are following somebody who is doing a series of things, and sometimes there's a contest and all of that, something to keep track in. Okay, all right, the next thing I would suggest, and I just grabbed this out of my stash. I had some other things in it. I don't even know where I got this. A box of some kind. A box of some kind would be really helpful to put all the pieces and bits in that you get. Okay? And if you have some extra disease around, that might be helpful. I use some things like this. At some point in the process, during that time period, I bought one of these. This is like it's like a binder, only it had the envelopes, and then it has the magnetic sheets in them. Okay. And I think these feel kind of lightweight. I keep thinking this is the one. See, I've taken some of the sheets out. I think I bought the sheets separately for something else, and the sheets that were actually in here were really heavy, and it made this real heavy. I got it on Amazon. I don't know who makes it. I'm not, as you can see, it didn't necessarily do much for me because it's empty. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at one of the other things I did to keep track. Okay. Each thing had a little tag like this. Okay. And this is from 2024. All right. And let's see, here is, okay, for example, here is this. This was the first day. All right. I just cut the cardboard out, stuck it on a, this is just some heavy white cardstock that I had that I just used to make something and stuck it on a ring. Okay, and then this was one of the dies, and that was a die, and this one and this one. All of these right here on this sheet go with this particular die. And they came, most of these came on the same, I think these all came on the same day. Okay? All right, and then I kept something like that for each day. They weren't always die sets. Sometimes they were stamp sets. Okay, these obviously are embossing folders. These are layered stencils. Okay. I found that this was probably the most helpful because these dies have that come in these sets are usually lots of little bits. You need a lots of little bits container of some sort. Anything you have will work. You don't have to invest in magnetic sheets. I used Ziploc bags when it started, okay, because I hadn't bought anything like this yet. All right, so keep track of what comes out of each one and what you might want to do with it. That's where this system came in place. Okay, so day one, she was doing something with secret words. I cut out, used the dies and cut out what it was and put it together while she was doing the live. Okay, I made notes. For example, like this day, I used some blending pencils and I used some clear embossing and my Milo markers. I took pictures, printed them out on my printer and stuck them in here, okay? So I kept track of it. This day, it looks like I actually went ahead and made cards, all right? This day, it looks like I made a card. But I kind of kept track of what I did each day so that I would kind of have a record. And what this did to help me was after this is over and I would find myself thinking, wow, where did I get where did I get the pictures that I put on the front of that one card? I had these that I could look back on. Okay, so find a way to keep track, whatever system works for you. Okay. Keep in mind that for the most part, the videos you are watching, you will be able to go back in and watch again. So this is a point where you figure out how you work best if you're watching something live. All right. Crafting along sometimes worked for me and sometimes did not work for me. It depended on what was going on. Okay. There is nothing wrong with watching it all the way through and then going back and watching it again. All right. Secondly, if you can't watch them live, it doesn't mean you can't do them. You can go back and watch them later. You can watch them at your convenience. The professionals that do this are the kind of people that set it up so that all of us can find our way into this. Okay? All right. Finding something that you can keep everything together in. All right. And the most important part of this is have fun. I think last year, Alicia did, sometimes they do tags, sometimes they do cards, sometimes they do like a little 3x3 album so that you kind of create a record as you go along. I'm big on using my phone to take pictures of things, and so I can at least look back at them, or so that I can just print them out and cut them up and put them on something so I can keep track. All right. The thing that helped in the long run, more than keeping these in some kind of a binder, was putting them in something like this. But this is how I store my dies anyway. Okay. All of my dies that I have are like this in sets. And my stamps are either in a container like this, or they're in something like this without the magnetic part. Okay, I tend to go ahead and cut one of these out and, make them out of white scrap and then put them in at the back of like whatever it's in. Okay, so normally you would pick this up if it was like it was a die set that was all flowers. You'd pick it up, and you look in the back of it, and there would be a piece of paper that would have the flowers that I had cut out so I could see how they put together. All right. So in order to really enjoy your Advent experience, whatever product you're working with, and there are a lot of them out there this year. I'm sure there were a lot of them last year, and since I was new to this, I just didn't know. Okay. But there are a lot of them out there. And there are a lot of videos, and I've noticed over on YouTube that the videos in some respect, they've already been scheduled. Okay. So, and you'll be able to look and see when they're released and what time you could be there if you want to do them live. Okay. All right. Get organized. Take some time to do a few things now, and put that to start to put together. Now, one more thing. If you are going to do this live, okay, and not knowing, and you're going to wait and open one each day, a couple of things will make it easier. If you think you're going to make a card as best you can each day, if it's something that you can make a card with, because sometimes you'll open one of these doors and it will be little gems, or it will be I noticed with the one I watched with Tailored Expressions, it was that like there were tools, that there were all kinds of things. So I think Tailored Expressions does theirs once a week, maybe, so that you've got several days to work with to make something. One of the things that Alicia did last year was she picked a color palette. Okay. So I'm already looking at this and thinking, okay, if it's going to be flowers most of the time, okay, since it kind of looks like it's going to, there may be some, that's a fishbowl. That's going to be fun. But if it's going to be a lot of flowers or whatever, get some, if you're going to make cards, go ahead and cut your cardstock. If you're going to, if you want to like focus on a color palette, get some of those things together, and get your tools together in one place, because working live and crafting along requires having your stuff ready to sit down and work. Okay. Not everybody crafts along. Last year, there were a lot of people watching this in the background on their phone at work. Okay. And just so that they could be there for the live stuff and the experience of being able to chat with a large number of people. Okay. So think about like color palettes, ink pens, watercolor markers, acrylic markers, things that you think you might want to use, so that you've kind of got things together. And if there's something you know you want to use, no matter what happens, go ahead and put it in your box to get it together. Okay. I hope to see you. I'm going to do a series of videos, like probably a couple of things at a day, or I'm going to open it and then say, okay, this is something I can do this with. I will probably open mine before December 1st. This video will start running the last week in November, so that you too can get ready for a crafty Advent. Thank you.